אתם באמצע אוגוסט, בתחילת אוגוסט, באמצע הקיץ, לא מובן מאליו, אז תודה רבה שמצטרפים. שלחתי לכולם מייל שאומר שאנחנו רוצים להציג את גרסה 26, שהיא גרסה באמת אולי הכי מהפכנית, שאוטומיק שחררו מאז שאני מכיר את המוצר. אני חושב שלרובכם יהיו שם הרבה מאוד דברים חדשים לראות. נמצאים איתנו קאי, שהוא מנהל מוצר אוטומיק, רג'יב שהיה אמור להיות, הוא מנהל תחום האוטומציה, הוא לא יהיה, אבל קאי הוא מנהל ספציפי את אוטומיק, ויחד איתו את אוהנה. אוהנה and קאי, guys, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello.
Happy to do so.
Go
Ladies
ahead.
first.
No, it's fine. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, so my name is Juana Botez. I'm a product owner for Automic. Been working with Automic for 11 years now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this webinar. Go ahead, Kai.
Thanks, Juana. Thanks, Ron, for inviting us. My name is Kai Wierda. I am a product manager for Atomic Automation here at Broadcom. Similar to Juana, I've been involved with Atomic for over 10 years. Happy to be here, and also happy to answer any of the questions you have in this webinar. Thank you.
Great, Kai, thank you very much. I'll go back to Hebrew just for 2 seconds, and then we'll go to the webinar itself. לפני שניכנס לוובינר עצמו, ואחרי זה כמו שקאי אמר, שאלות ותשובות, אני רוצה גם בסוף הוובינר לספר על איזושהי יוזמה שאנחנו עושים עכשיו של איחוד פלטפורמות מעניינות שיש לנו כאן בברודקום, גם אוטומיק יחד עם API Gateway או AI Gateway וסימנטק, ולמעשה איזושהי תפיסה הוליסטית של מה שאנחנו קוראים Responsible AI, 3 זוויות שונות להסתכל על ולנהל את כל יוזמות ה-AI בארגון, כששלושת הכלים נמצאים אצלנו בברודקום, שזה יתרון מאוד גדול, ואני גם אסביר למה ב2-3 סליידים, אבל נעשה את זה בסוף. אנחנו נעבור ישר לוובינר, ואני מקווה שרק תגידו לי אם שומעים טוב ווליום, עשיתי כמיטב יכולתי.
שומעים טוב מאוד.
לא, רק רגע אחד. רק שנייה. רואים את המסך?
כן.
עכשיו אני מקווה שגם תשמעו את הווליום. שומעים?
את המסך טרם.
לא שומעים את המסך עכשיו?
לא שומעים, את המסך לא שומעים.
לפני השיתוף אתה צריך לעשות include sound.
סליחה, עשיתי. מה לעשות עוד פעם לפני השיתוף?
include sound.
זה מה שעשיתי.
computer sound.
שנייה, עשיתי את זה לפני זה.
לפני השאר יש לך include sound. לחץ על הכפתור ואז תשתף את
לא, בשאר include sound. אוקיי.
אוקיי.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from today. My name is Tony Beeston, and I'll be your host. We have a fantastic session lined up for you today to talk about the latest release of Automic Automation. Version 26 is packed with updates and truly has something for everyone. Before we dive in, a couple of quick housekeeping notes. Since this is a public broadcast, all phone lines will remain on mute. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit them and our team will follow up with you after the event. Also, don't forget to check out the attachment section. We provided some great resources there, so be sure to download these materials before you log off. To walk you through all the exciting updates, we're joined by 2 expert speakers. First, the session will be opened by Rajiv Kumar, Head of Product for Workload Automation here at Broadcom. After Rajiv sets the stage, Kai Verda, Product Manager for Automic Automation, will dive into the details. So let's get right to it. Rajiv, the floor is yours.
Welcome everybody to the webcast. We are truly excited about the next version of Automic Automation, which is version V26. But we are truly excited about this release because this brings our vision around AI capabilities to a logical milestone. We have been delivering a bunch of AI features for Automic as well as other automation products through minor releases. But some of them were used by SaaS customers for Automic. On-premises customers were not able to take advantage of a lot of those features that came out in minor versions. V26 brings a number of capabilities that make Automic a true agentic orchestrator, a true accelerator for process automation and workflow orchestration for developers and operators. So we are truly excited about this release, which is a step toward making it a true intelligent control plane for the enterprise. And let's dive into some of the details of that. I'm going to present some context around why we are doing what we are doing. And then Kai is going to take us into the details of the key capabilities we are going to deliver in V26. Okay, so let's start with where we are with AI. So AI adoption in the enterprises, typically, you would see that the chat kind of use cases, everybody is using a chat bot for doing something, which is genuinely exciting. You see conversational interfaces, knowledge retrieval use cases, RAG-powered assistants, and they're transforming how individuals, how developers, how analysts are interacting with AI and getting their work done. They're finding productivity in those use cases. So while that momentum is real, it is going to continue lifting the productivity of every business user in the enterprise from a digital worker perspective. The conversation is starting to shift from an enterprise AI adoption perspectives. Leaders across different verticals, process owners, business operations owners, they are starting to ask a different question. What happens when AI isn't just answering questions? What happens when you do not really have to go to AI for every single question you have? What happens if it starts executing work? It starts getting embedded into your workflows. So think about analytics and decision making, landscapes where analysis and reporting take days, months, before anyone can even arrive at a decision. With the right data and now a trusted model, that timeline collapses to minutes. Think about use cases around supply chain, manufacturing, core processes like core banking, customer experience processes, IT processes around incident remediation, problem resolution, where a single intelligent step embedded in an existing workflow could prevent disruptions before they cascade. They can improve the SLA attainment of business workflows by order of magnitude. So the key insight here is the true potential of enterprise AI isn't about chat. It is about taking AI into workflows, potentially autonomous workflows. The question is, if the potential is that big, why aren't we seeing all enterprises adopting AI in their business workflows, in their IT workflows, and so on? Because there is a trust problem. And I think this group, a lot of you would have heard about this trust problem. AI is powerful, but it hallucinates. Maybe only sometimes, but it hallucinates. And enterprises run on, especially when you look at business operations team, business critical processes that we have been historically dealing with from a workload automation perspective. These systems work on critical data, which is kind of locked in the treasuries of the enterprise. They sit in mainframes, they sit in ERPs, they sit in CRMs. There are homegrown business systems, there are legacy databases, as well as modern systems that are evolving in the cloud, evolving in the modern, data lakes, etc. But they're highly guarded. Business data is highly guarded that keep operations running. These systems were built for reliability, auditability, and control. So you cannot simply hand AI the keys to these treasuries of data and hope for the best. So chat RAG use cases are great. And of course, they will continue improving the productivity of a regular business user. We are going to talk about business processes. We are going to talk about operations and how AI can really be embedded with trust, with reliability, so that we are automating more with AI and it does not go reckless with that kind of agentic orchestration. Now, critically, AI or no AI, these systems have been built for deep auditability. With AI agents touching some of these systems, touching some of this data, it becomes super important that we have the ability to retroactively review and audit every action that AI took, every action that was performed by a human in the loop, or actions, of course, that were performed by traditional automation. So we'll have to address these through something that is sitting centrally. And the gap here is not really the AI capability, the gap is AI governance at the process level. And that's our positioning. How do we improve the trust and governance problems for enterprises by giving them a framework, by giving them a platform which brings all of this together? Now, before we dive into the meaty part of what we are doing in V26, I wanted to quickly touch on how do we envision our solution in general. We envision ourselves as being that intelligent control plane, which brings these highly guarded enterprise systems along with the other systems of record, some systems of control like the automation tools, and the emerging systems of intelligence that we are seeing with the large language models, AI agents, and the agentic applications. We bring them together in orchestrated workflows. But not just workflows, we give them visibility, and then we give them governance from an auditability and cost management perspective. So on this chart, you see that on the right, we are talking about covering the enterprise landscape. Historically, we have covered a lot of this through our workload automation story. But now we are adding more and more from a system of controls perspective. There is proliferation of automation tools. They need to be connected to the same system. So you have a master controller sitting somewhere controlling all these little systems of control. They are working in their own isolations. You have systems of intelligence, these AI agents. You'll have MCP servers that would like to coordinate and cooperate with the rest of the system. And you need the mechanisms to stitch them together in a manner where the control can be exercised, humans can be put in the loop, and there is deep auditability available. Then you see the process visibility and cost optimization pieces, which is not truly the focus of our presentation today. Largely, we are addressing those areas through our automation, analytics, and intelligence capabilities. And we will touch on that in a future session. Our focus for today's webinar is going to be primarily AI-powered orchestration, as how do we bring AI into the workflow and how we use AI to improve workflow creation and operations velocity. So essentially, the intelligent control plane will happen when we are able to bring AI with absolute trust. And that's the pillar number one of V26. How do we really bring LLMs into the workflows with the required guardrails? How do we really bring MCPs, so Model Context Protocol? And if you do not know what Model Context Protocol is, a quick search or maybe your favorite LLM can help you understand what it is. think of MCPs as new APIs. I know some people are going to frown on that definition, but it's a good way of thinking about how systems are going to interact with each other in the agentic world. And if you bring MCPs, LLMs, AI-defined tasks, your traditional tasks to run your business or IT workflows, bringing all of them together in a trusted orchestration fabric is the number one pillar of our V26 story. The number two pillar is data is an essential component of operationalizing AI with trust. Enterprises are struggling with how to get that data securely, cleanly, in a place where AI can use it. There are governance issues pertaining to data. So V26 is going to provide a bunch of capabilities for developers, automation developers and data engineers who can bring their pipeline related capabilities and jobs easily into Automic. And the last thing is improving, fortifying continuous operations, as we call it, which is about improved upgradability, improved performance, and improved security, and that is baked into V26 release. So this foundation eventually gets us a step closer to our vision of intelligent control plane. And then I'm going to give it to Kai to delve into the details of some of the capabilities we'll be releasing with V26. So Kai, over to you.
Thank you, Rajiv. First of all, I'm equally excited to present Automic Automation version 26 today. And there is a lot of new AI-related, but also non-AI-related capabilities in this release. And feedback from customers who have used or seen version 26 as part of the customer validation or beta program have been overwhelmingly positive. So let's move to my first slide. And this is important because the competitors in this space are building proprietary and closed AI hubs. And we took a different approach. With Automic version 26, we introduce a bring your own model architecture. And this means customers are in full control and can use our new AI capabilities with their approved LLMs or AI services. And this is important because it means there is zero vendor lock-in and the customer is in full control. And by adopting the Open Model Context Protocol or MCP, and you will hear that term a lot, standard, we think the way to describe MCP or a different way is think of it as the USB-C port for AI, allowing you to connect in a secure manner LLMs, MCP servers, AI agents in a single flow. And we support that as standard. So Automic functions as an enterprise-grade MCP client as well as an MCP server. So customers have the flexibility to route general cost-effective automation tasks to public models like Gemini, OpenAI on Azure, etc., while routing highly sensitive operational workloads to private self-hosted models, including those models hosted on VMware Private AI. It's also important to mention that this is all bidirectional, so AI can trigger Automic workflows, and Automic can query AI for decision logic, boosting agentic orchestration use cases and enabling enterprises to securely read, write, and act on information provided by Automic. Let's double-click on Model Context Protocol or MCP and agentic orchestration. In the center, you have the Automic Intelligent Control Plane, providing the fabric that combines deterministic workflow orchestration with AI reasoning across multi-generational infrastructure and applications running in the cloud, running on premises, or running in hybrid fashion. On the left, you see examples of vendor categories that are now providing MCP servers in addition to the APIs they provide. Think about ServiceNow, think about Google BigQuery, or SAP as an example of a business app. They are all coming out with MCP servers enabling secure access to read, write, and act on information using natural language prompts. In an MCP client context, agentic orchestration means calling multiple agents or MCP servers from an Automic workflow. On the right-hand side of this diagram, you can see an external agent experience that calls the Automic MCP server. And recently, we've had customer conversations where they indicated they have moved on from an API-first policy to an MCP-first policy, meaning only vendors with an MCP server get on their list of approved enterprise applications. So MCP is going to be very important going forward. And in MCP server context, agentic orchestration means creating agents or chatbots for providing self-service capabilities to interact with Automic. What is the status of my job? Show me the report, start this workflow, etc. And both of these scenarios will be demonstrated as part of today's session. In the next set of slides, we'll look at how Automic version 26 impacts those who build automation, whether these automation builders are long-time Automic experts, non-subject matter experts, such as business users or citizen developers, or even data engineers who prefer using Python over everything else. Automic Automation version 26 boosts their automation building experience with new levels of productivity and ease of use. Automic version 26 comes with a new AI job type, enabling AI interaction with LLMs and MCP servers using our drag-and-drop workflow interface. And as an Automic object, it benefits from our built-in role-based access control, logging, audit, and security capabilities, enabling agentic orchestration with governance. And our customers get the best of both worlds, combining trusted, deterministic workflow execution with AI reasoning to safely operationalize agentic orchestration. And now, our first demo that will take approximately 3.5 minutes. And here you will see how the new AI job is put to use to deliver an incident enrichment process. And in this demo, you will also see the new look and feel of the Automic version 26 user interface. So please increase your volume to ensure you can hear my voiceover as I play video.
To demonstrate these agentic orchestration capabilities, we have prepared a demo that is about a common challenge in IT operations: how to reduce incident resolution time and operations staff workload by providing AI-assisted contextual analysis. In short, this use case is about incident enrichment in ServiceNow and demonstrates agentic orchestration with Automic version 26, combining trusted, deterministic workflows with AI reasoning, leveraging the new AI job type. First, let's create an incident in our ServiceNow instance and submit. Now, let's switch to the Automic UI to see the workflow. This workflow is triggered when a new incident is raised in ServiceNow. It retrieves the relevant ticket details and passes it on to the next object. And the second object here is of the new AI job type, and it is used to look for keywords in the ServiceNow ticket and then format these in the search format that ServiceNow expects. As you can see here, we use the system prompt to provide additional instructions and background information to better guide the LLM in how to respond to the user prompt. This is what the job's output looks like. And we can see that we automatically marked the AI-generated output. This is important for compliance and audit reasons. Also here, we see the variables that we publish throughout this workflow so that this workflow instance stays in context of the ServiceNow ticket that we are processing. The next object invokes the ServiceNow REST API to perform a similarity search based on the keywords that the previous AI job discovered in the incident. Next, we use another AI job to analyze and rank the most similar incidents that were returned by ServiceNow. And remember that analyzing and ranking large data sets is a perfect use case for AI. And here we can see that we started a new conversation, and later we can continue that conversation without losing any of the earlier conversation context. Once we have the answer from the model, here we use Ask AI to rank them with a confidence score from 1 to 10. And then based on the ranking, the next AI job then continues the conversation by analyzing ticket resolution or ticket closing notes and use these to formulate diagnostics or remedial steps that can then be used to enrich the ServiceNow ticket. And then finally, we use the ServiceNow REST API to update the incident with the work notes that were generated by the LLM. The lower path in this workflow follows the exact same methodology, but analyzes knowledge base articles linked to ServiceNow tickets to further enrich the incident. If we switch back to ServiceNow, we can see that the Automic workflow enriched the incident with work notes to help the operations staff take the appropriate next actions, greatly reducing both time to resolution and manual effort.
All right, that was the very first video. Moving on to AI augmented workflow creation. When we started our AI journey with Automic Automation 24.4, that was released around this time last year, our vision was to democratize automation, enabling other types of users who may not be Automic experts, but are able to express their use case. And I'm happy to announce that Automic version 26 comes with AI augmented workflow creation, enabling business users and non-experts with a text-to-workflow or vibe coding experience. And of course, I have a demo out for that. And in the next 3.5 minutes, you will see what this vibe coding experience in Automic version 26 looks like.
Cindy, a developer and object designer, is responsible for preparing operational data for analytics teams. Her organization relies on daily reporting to monitor performance and support decision-making. To enable this, she must move data from an SQL Server database into BigQuery so analysts can access fresh, reliable data. Today, building this pipeline requires manual effort, creating connections, writing scripts, and orchestrating multiple objects into a working workflow. Even for experienced engineers, this process takes time and careful coordination. Cindy wants a faster, more consistent way to implement integrations like this. So she turns to the Automic Automation AI Assistant. Using augmented object creation, she can describe the outcome she needs, and the assistant implements it. Let's see how she does it. Cindy starts with a plain language request. She wants to create a workflow that extracts a table from an SQL server and uploads it into Google BigQuery. Cindy and the assistant engage in a conversation until the task is clear and well-defined. Once the context is set, the assistant generates a detailed work plan. First, it suggests a folder structure to organize the new objects. Then it proposes a workflow to orchestrate the entire process. It suggests creating the SQL connection objects that connects to the SQL server, as well as the login required. Then it proposes the job that will extract the table and writes it to the file. It then moves to GCP to create the objects there. Then it suggests a Python job with the code that uploads the file into BigQuery, and the Vara object that contains the configuration. And last but not least, it suggests creating a notification for failure handling so that if the workflow fails, Cindy will be notified via email. This ensures a secure and reliable human-in-the-loop approach, where the AI handles the heavy lifting while Cindy maintains final oversight and control. This is a great plan, so Cindy approves it. The assistant creates the objects, and all Cindy has to do is to provide a few details and fine-tune the configuration. The assistant guides her. She opens the generated SQL connection object and enters the specific server name, port, and database. She must also enter either a login object or the user ID and password. Then, a quick connection test confirms everything is ready to go. Cindy doesn't need to configure anything else. The assistant has already prepared the remaining components, such as the configuration parameters for BigQuery, the BigQuery job that extracts the data, as well as the Python job with the code that uploads it into the system. And here is the workflow that the assistant proposed. It strings these tasks together, and it sets the return code so that if a job fails, Cindy gets automatically notified. All she has to do now is execute this workflow. Let's have a look at its monitor. The data was extracted and then uploaded to BigQuery.
Right, that was the second demo. Here we go. Let's talk about Python. Python has become the world's most popular programming language and is recognized for its versatility in data science, AI, as well as complex data processing. And with Automic version 26, we're introducing a seamless Python scripting experience, turning standalone Python scripts into reliable, scalable, and manageable workflows. Using Automic's capabilities for scheduling, monitoring, and error handling. And thanks to native Python object types, data engineers can now run their Python code as is, with support for Python package dependencies, and also easy data exchange between Python and Automic. Python-savvy teams can now apply their Python expertise directly within Automic and benefit from a centralized orchestration capabilities with a greatly reduced learning curve. Top of native Python support, Automic version 26 comes with AI-driven code assist, making the coding and scripting experience for Python, but also PowerShell or Bash, super simple. And our built-in assistant provides natural language script generation as well as code optimization, enabling automation builders of all skill levels with access to a wide variety of automation use cases with minimal time to value. So combined, our agentic AI job, AI augmented workflow generation, native Python support, and AI code assist boost the automation building experience, enabling Automic experts, business users, as well as data engineers with new levels of productivity in creating automation use cases, leveraging Automic as the intelligent control plane for the enterprise. In the next section, we'll look at how version 26 impacts those who manage or operate automation. How can Automic boost their experience, enabling operation teams to diagnose, remediate, and also collaborate easier and faster, helping them to greatly accelerate time to resolution. The Automic Automation Assistant was introduced back in version 24.4 and provided root cause analysis by summarizing logs, performing error message lookup, and it could even suggest basic remediation steps. In version 26, the Automation Assistant's capabilities have been greatly extended. It now uses the Automic MCP server and tools. And thanks to tools, the assistant can now interact with Automic using natural language. And this enables the automation operator to ask follow-up questions. So show log details or show job properties, restart the workflow, show me all failed jobs from last Friday, etc. Furthermore, the Automic MCP server can be leveraged to create external agentic experiences. So imagine the creation of an agent that provides self-service capabilities through enterprise collaboration platforms such as Slack or Microsoft Teams. So now operations teams can collaborate using their preferred chat platform and interact with Automic using natural language. It's all made possible via the Automic MCP server to further improve operations productivity, reduce MTTR, foster collaboration, and help operations teams deliver better service. And this will be demonstrated in our next demo.
So how can the version 26 AI capabilities help workload operations reduce MTTR and do root cause analysis and remediation using natural language? Let's ask to show the failed job runs. There's not that many on this demo system, but note that the UI filter is automatically adjusted to show the status abandoned. Now let's get the job report for the failed job. In the background, we're calling the Automic MCP server to pull the log, and then the LLM analyzes it, indicating we tried executing an unknown command, which is why this job failed. We can also ask for more details, again, leveraging the Automic MCP server to provide details for this particular job. And I can continue asking follow-up questions, such as showing what another operator has added as comments to this job run. So this job appears to have been fixed in the meantime. Let's try to open this job and see if that's really the case. The intelligent assistant can also control the UI and will open a new browser window displaying the job properties. We assume it all checks out, so let's switch back to the assistant and restart the parent workflow. The assistant understands which tool exposed by our MCP server to invoke and restarts the workflow. So this all works using the intelligent assistant that lives inside the Automic UI. But the great thing about having an MCP server is that it enables our customers to easily build external agents that interact with Automic via the tools we expose. Think about conversing with an Automic agent via an enterprise collaboration platform such as Slack or Teams. So here we are using the Google Agent Development Kit to demonstrate the same type of conversation, but now from an external agent. And here, when I ask to display failed jobs, you can actually see which tools the agent calls to interact with the Automic MCP server. And I can ask similar follow-up questions, where the agent will leverage different tools, etc. The Automic MCP server exposes a standard and secure way to connect LLMs and agents, opening up a whole range of new use cases. In helping automation operations diagnose and troubleshoot, enabling agentic experiences that can be plugged into enterprise collaboration platforms, exposing new ways of interaction designed to reduce MTTR and deliver better service.
All right, that was our third demo. Let's skip to the next section, which is around fortifying continuous operations. So I've shown, we talked about AI a lot, but we do know that a fundamental requirement for any enterprise automation platform is unwavering stability and a low total cost of ownership. So Automic Automation version 26 fortifies your core operations for customers who drive their SAP workloads with Automic. Version 26 introduces new SAP integrations that adhere to the SAP Clean Core and are also certified for both SAP RISE and SAP GROW cloud deployments. With 26, we've introduced significant backend improvements to our zero downtime upgrade or business continuity upgrade capability. This ensures business continuity during upgrades and reduce the cost of staying current. Our Automic SaaS subscribers have already benefited from these business continuity upgrades for quite some time now. So we want this to be the default way our on-premises customers stay current as well. We have evolved to an agentless experience. And thanks to pre-built containerized agents, we enable our customers to consume our integrations with ease. This is effective, especially for cloud-to-cloud orchestration scenarios where automation builders can focus on their automation use cases and not have to worry about where to deploy or how to configure the required agent technology. And in support of headless administration and also our MCP strategy, we have expanded our REST API service and added additional authentication methods, specifically bearer token authentication and authentication with OAuth to ensure secure and compliant interoperability. Let's double click on SAP. With version 26, we've made significant advancements to fortify our SAP footprint, ensuring that Automic remains secure and deeply integrated automation platform for modern SAP landscapes. So first, we are strictly aligning to SAP's clean core strategy. And with version 26, we introduce a new application job type. And instead of relying on custom ABAP code or legacy background reports that complicate SAP cloud migrations, Automic now integrates directly with the standard SAP application job framework via its corresponding REST API. And this is critical for any organization moving to S/4HANA Cloud or adopting SAP Rise and Grow, as it drastically de-risks their modernization path. Second, we're also connecting Automic to the SAP AI story. So SAP is heavily investing in SAP Business AI and their generative co-pilot called Joule. However, for those AI agents to execute work outside of the SAP silo across the broader enterprise, they will need a secure execution layer. And by operating as the intelligent control plane and utilizing the MCP standard, Automic can act as the secure hands for SAP's AI. So SAP Joule or the SAP AI Core can trigger downstream workflows through Automic, and customers maintain absolute confidence knowing those actions are strictly governed by Atomic's role-based access control, security, and audit logging. And finally, as you can see on this slide, our continued commitment to the SAP ecosystem is validated by our latest SAP certifications, as well as now official presence on the SAP storefront. To summarize what we have covered today, Automic Automation version 26 represents an architectural evolution for our platform. We are officially establishing Automic as the intelligent control plane for the enterprise. And for the past couple of years, the market has been highly focused on passive AI, tools that sit on the sideline to help you analyze logs or write scripts. And Automic version 26 moves organizations beyond that. We are providing the foundational execution layer required to let AI actively orchestrate work across your hybrid environments. However, we recognize that the single biggest barrier to deploy AI agents in a production environment is trust. Customers cannot allow non-deterministic AI models to make unmonitored dynamic changes to their systems. And Automic version 26 solves this by encapsulating AI reasoning within our proven deterministic framework. When an AI agent triggers a workflow or makes a routing decision, it is strictly bound by the exact same role-based access control, audit trails, and security protocols that have governed our customers' existing workflows for years. And by operating as this intelligent control plane, Automic version 26 gives our customers the best of both worlds. Data ops and platform engineering teams gain the agility to build rapidly using native Python and AI-driven development capabilities. And at the same time, IT operations maintains the uncompromising governance and stability required for all mission-critical backend processes. The Automic Automation VCF Advanced Service adds distinct value to VCF. And we do this for multiple areas. But the biggest impact from everything you've heard in today's session is around VCF Private AI. Not only will Automic version 26 orchestrate bringing compliant data into VCF Private AI, All new Automic version 26 AI capabilities will support models that run on private AI, and the Automic version 26 MCP server will happily work with the private AI agent builder experience. Automic Automation version 26 powers the VCF private AI platform, and in turn, VCF private AI can power the Automic AI capabilities. Last but not least, my last slide, let's discuss the general availability for version 26. Version 26 will be GA on April 17th, 2026, with Automic SaaS being updated following its published maintenance schedule, with non-production systems upgrade being applied around May 13th, and production environments following again to the published maintenance schedule. And with that, I hand it over to Tony.
Thanks so much, Kai and Rajiv, for that great deep dive into what's new in Automic Automation V26. I think you'll all agree that the new capabilities in this release are going to be a huge asset in advancing workload automation at your companies. Thank you to everyone for taking the time to join us today, and we hope you found the session valuable and are excited to start planning your upgrade. Thanks again for being here, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
אז רגע, שומעים אותי?
שומעים מאוד.
יופי, מצוין. אז קודם כל אני מקווה שהכל היה ברור ושראיתם קצת מהגרסה החדשה, גם אפילו טיפה את הממשק שהוא קצת משתנה, וסך הכל הרבה מאוד בשורות. קפצו לי כאן כמה שאלות בינתיים, אז אני אהיה הראשון שישאל את קאי, אם יש לכם שאלות נוספות על מה שאני עכשיו הולך להקריא לקאי, בבקשה. So Kai and Oana, so far I have about 3 questions. One of them I think was answered, but I'll start with the first one. So the first one is, how does Automic actually enforces or imposes governance and compliance on other MCPs, which Automic actually is the orchestrator of other MCPs? How does Automic enforces governance on them?
I'll try to answer that one first. Great question. So in general, with the version 26 AI backend we provide, everything related to automation and orchestrating business processes end-to-end will flow through Automic, acting not only as the orchestrator of orchestrators, but also as the MCP server of MCP servers, if you will. So again, it's all about orchestrating, and enforcing can happen at multiple levels, right? But as an approved MCP server within the enterprise is connected to Automic, then of course you have control as to, hey, do users have access to it? Can a workflow orchestrate a specific MCP? But even at a finer grained level, right, you can also then control what tools, right, the functionality that the MCP server exposes are actually available to users. So if you pair that with the existing capabilities that Automic has around security, authentication, role-based access control, audit levels, you actually get this additional level of governance as far as being able to orchestrate both, let's say, classic business processes as well as agentic scenarios, or of course the combination of the two, right? By combining the deterministic workflows that Automic has had for many years, now with agentic reasoning. So that combined is what provides this level of governance. And I hope with that I answered this question.
Okay, so I think the second question relates to that. The second question is, so there are other dedicated AI orchestration tools out there, like Wonderful or other dedicated orchestration tools to dedicated ecosystems. So how would they be, let's say, backed by Automic, or let's say what things they cannot do without Automic? Being an orchestrator for dedicated tools, for example, chatbots. What are the things they cannot do without Automic?
Yeah, great question. So first and foremost, we're not claiming to be the master of all AI, right? Automic is and always has been about interoperability. So we add value to existing systems. We integrate and orchestrate and work with existing systems. Automic has never been about rip and replace, but also always about complementing existing technologies. I think an interesting aspect to the question here, for example, is if you have a dedicated framework that allows to build agentic experiences, and that agent needs to connect to an existing system of record, let's say your enterprise ERP system, or if I'm in finance, maybe there's still a mainframe out there, right? Do I really want to open up APIs and have an agent directly access these systems? Or should I rather use an existing, proven, and auditable integration layer that may have been in use for years already through Automic, and then use Automic as a gateway, if you will, or a proxy, if you will, to access those systems? So I think the answer to the question is really we provide choice to enable responsible AI deployment, also taking care of access to enterprise systems of records without having to reinvent the wheel or exposing business critical systems directly to an AI service.
Okay, thank you. And one more question. I don't think it's directly from the webinar, but I understand why they asked me this question. I've been talking a lot to customers about that. Can you or Oana elaborate a little bit about the do and undo button for the AI object running? How does it work?
So in general, there is no specific do and undo button for AI, but of course, Automic has always had suspend, repair, resume, suspend, undo, resume capabilities. And that is actually part of the deterministic framework that we've always had, right? And independent of what action I perform, whether it's a database query, a file, or data movement activity, you can always, because Automic is very transactional, right? Every activity that Automic performs can actually be undone, right? Or redone for that matter. And because of that combination that we've already explained, that deterministic behavior that we've had, combining that with interaction with AI services, you benefit from those same capabilities, including the ability to undo, redo previous activities. Now, in context of AI, it depends, of course, on the context and the use case. If I ask an AI to, if I send a prompt to an AI and I get a response, right? What does undo mean in that context, right? So there are situations, though, where, for example, I can ask to reinstantiate a prompt because of the probabilistic behavior of AI. This also may then yield a different result, right? Because that's how AI works. But the basic principle is existing Automic capabilities also apply to the AI context.
אוקיי. So, חברים, למי שיש שאלות כאן, מעבר לשאלות ששלחו לי? אוקיי, בסדר גמור. אז קודם כל, אני מקווה שהכל היה ברור ושזה היה חדש ומעניין. אני אשלח גם את ההקלטה לכולם. ואם יש שאלות בעקבות הדמו הזה או בעקבות הוובינר הזה, אפשר להעביר לי. וניר גם כמובן איתנו יכול לעזור, וכל הצוות שלנו כאן בנס. שיחות לגבי אפגרדים וכדומה, זה אני מניח שאתם תנהלו לבד עם ניר ואיתי, כל אחד בקצב שלו. ומי שרוצה עוד 2 דקות להישאר כדי להציג את המודל שדיברתי עליו בהתחלה, שמשלב את 3 הכלים, זה בדיוק 2 דקות, 2 סליידים וזהו. ובינתיים אני רק יודע לחבר'ה מברודקום, קאי and Oana, thank you very much. It's been very educational. I think that we've answered all the questions were repetitive, so everything that you've answered right now actually summarized all the questions that I've got from different angles. We'll be talking to our customers, of course, about upgrades and use cases on upgrading for V26. It's been more than educational for us. Thank you for your participation. I will just now show the guys those 2 slides that I promised them about the combination of Symantec, AI Gateway, and Automic, and by that we'll conclude the session. Okay?
Thank you very much.
And if there's any follow-up questions following this live webinar, we'd be happy to answer those if you forward them on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, guys. זה לא הרבה, זה באמת משהו מאוד מאוד קצר. אוקיי. רואים? בקיצור, כמו שאמרתי בתחילת הוובינר, אנחנו מדברים כאן בסוף על שילוב של 3 טכנולוגיות, ש3 נמצאות אצלנו, ובעולם של AI, לא כמילה שיווקית או מכובסת, לקבל תמיכה ממקום אחד, שמריץ 3 שכבות לצורך העניין של ניהול AI בצורה, נקרא לזה אחראית ובטוחה, זה דבר מאוד חשוב, לא ליפול בין הכיסאות, ולקבל למעשה 3 זוויות שונות שאנחנו מסתכלים על ניהול של AI. כמו שאמר לפני זה קאי, בהקשר של אוטומיק, שמקבל סינגל פוינט, אז פה אני מקבל סינגל פוינט של סקיוריטי. כי אני רוצה לדעת לצורך העניין, שכל שכבה מטפלת לי בצורה אחרת, בהפעלת יוזמות של כלי AI שונים. אז הסימנטק מן הסתם מנהל את הסימנטק, זאת אומרת, כמו שאנחנו אומרים, מנהל את הצד הסייברי, נקרא לזה, במרכאות של סיכונים שיכולים להיות מכלי AI. וה-API, מה שהיום אנחנו קוראים לו AI Gateway, ינהל את הדרך שבה כלי AI, כמו שלפני זה כלי API, היו פונים פנימה לחשיפה של API שהיינו חושפים בתוך הארגון או החוצה, אז אנחנו רוצים שזה הכל ינוהל בצורה נכונה, ושהם פונים בצורה נכונה, ואין כל מיני prompt injection וכדומה, ואוטומיק יעשה את האורקסטרציה של כלל הפעולות שקורות, כשהם מפעילים כלי AI, כמו שראינו עכשיו, כולל יכולת רוורסביליות, אוקיי? ובסופו של דבר אנחנו בונים כאן איזשהו פתרון, שבנוי מ3 כלים, כדי לתת, כל אחד יעשה את שלו. אז לדוגמה אני נותן כאן את סימנטק DLP, השאלה היא, should this data, האם לדאטה הזה מותר להיכנס לארגון או אסור לו להיכנס לארגון? לדוגמה, API Gateway למעשה יגיד, האם הפנייה הייתה נכונה, האם היא נעשתה בצורה נכונה, האם יש נזק. אוטומיק יכול להגיד, האם אני יכול לשנות את זה, מה אני עושה עם הדאטה הזה אחרי שהוא נרכס לארגון, איזה workflow אני מניע כתוצאה ממנו, שוב הכל מדובר יחסית בהתייחס לכלי AI. אנחנו חושבים שהשילוב הזה של 3 הכלים הללו, כולל היכולת של ה-undo, כי אוטומיק עושה סנאפים לכל אורך פעילות ה-AI Object, והוא יכול לעשות rollback. אנחנו חושבים שהפעילות הזאת נותנת גם למפעילים של כלי AI, בוודאי שלכל מי שנוגע להבטחה של זה, שזה בדרך כלל משרד הסיסו, אבל לא רק, איזשהו שקט מוחלט מכל הזוויות כשהוא בא להפעיל כלי AI. עכשיו, מאחר ואין בדיוק, כמו שקאי אמר, יש כלי אורקסטרציה אחרים של מטפלים באג'נטים של AI, אבל הם מוגבלים לאקוסיסטם מסוים, הם לא כמו אוטומיק שהם רואים את כל הסביבה ויכולים להכיל עליו את כל הפוליסיס הפנימיים של אוטומיק. אז, וכאן יש דוגמאות גם למקומות שזה כבר עובד, בין אם זה בבנק או בבית חולים, ששלושת השכבות עובדות ביחד ונותנות ניהול מלא. אם אנחנו רוצים, כל אחד מכם לקבוע איתנו פגישה, לדבר על זה, להביא את המומחה AI Gateway שלנו, מומחה סימנטק, את ניר, ולנהל על זה שיח עמוק יותר, באיך אנחנו בונים את הפלטפורמה הזאת מול צרכים של כל ארגון, אנחנו נשמח לעשות פגישות המשך. זהו, מבחינתי, זה מה שרציתי להראות לכולם. אם יש שאלות גם בנושא הזה, אני אשמח שתשלחו לי באופליין, כל אחד בארגון שלו. ואני רוצה להודות לכם עוד פעם, שבאתם באמצע הקיץ ומהזמן שלכם, והשתתפתם בוובינר הזה. אם יש שאלות עכשיו, אני גם אשמח. ניר איתנו, בשמחה.
תודה רבה, אהרון. זה היה מאוד מעניין.
יופי, תודה רבה לכם. שמח שהצטרפתם. שיהיה המשך יום טוב, ואני אשלח לכולם את הוובינר המוקלט.
תודה רבה. Guy, Anna, thank you very much.
תודה רבה.
ביי, קאי,
Thanks.
Anna.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.